Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we are presenting our final project in utilizing GIS for sustainable landscape planning solution. Our site is focused on the Klang River, which is in Mukim Kapar and Meru that located in the center of Klang, Selangor. So, what are the issues in this site? The issue are environment pollution at Klang River. Next, we move on to the problem statement. For the first problem, it is bad quality of river due to the water pollution. Next one is the flash flood. It is due to the poor drainage maintenance and loss of natural resources.
We apply two analyses, which is buffer analysis and overlay analysis with riverline, slope, heavy industrial and residential as the points of our site in AZMAN to tackle the issues. The buffer analysis is used to identify future development area by locating the dangerous and activities. Riverline analysis is to identify the waterline surrounding the area. Meanwhile, slope analysis is to identify gradient and level of the river that will exceed. Heavy industrial analysis is to identify area of industrial waste from heavy industrial around the site. And lastly, residential analysis is to identify distance between residential area and river that will get affected. All of these analysis will turn into an overlay map after raster. But before we implemented the analysis in our site, we have gone through two case studies which is local and internationally to study on how they overcome the issues using ArcGIS. The first one are located at Al-Brash in Syria. They use ArcGIS to assign with NPS pollution to the river and produce risk pollution map to ensure the reduction of pollution. The data sources include soil and land use, land cover, slope, rainfall and distance from drainage. They use point source pollution and non-point source pollution to identify the sources. Eventually, the local one using the same method of using soil, slope and land use data which will turn into water pollution risk map.
Let us now talk about the three main objectives of our water quality analysis. First, to enhance its identity by reducing water pollution caused by rapid Klang land development. Klang is also known for being a flood-prone city. As a result of making it a flood-free city, users will be more engaged with water, which will increase social interaction in Klang. Finally, by preserving and increasing biodiversity, the Klang River's ecosystem and sustainability will be restored. So, in order to achieve the goal of this analysis, four main data sets will be used, which are riverline data, heavy industrial data, slope data, and residential data. But first, this is how we obtain the data. The first step is to conduct a site visit to review the analysis on site, and then we will use the selected data in ArcMap to generate input data for water pollution and flood sensitive area. The sensitive area will then be applied to buffer and raster analysis. Finish with overlay analysis, which is used to create an overlay map for flood and water pollution prone areas.
Next, we will move the flow chart of the sensitivity of water quality in Klang River. Firstly, we made a soil identification by using and refer to soil abbreviation data that's stated in GIS to make a class of soil. Next, we run a buffer analysis to a few factors of the water quality of Klang River, such as residential analysis, is to identify distance between river and residential that will be affected. Second, industrial analysis to identify an industrial heavy waste within the area. And lastly, we do a buffer full slope analysis to identify the gradient and level of the river that will exceed. After we do a buffer analysis step, we do a raster buffer map to make an analyzed data for further uses. Then last but not least, we will overlay the raster map to get a final result of the sensitivity area around Klang River. Results, there is a few area that has high sensitivity of the water quality issue of Klang River, which cover most of the Klang area, especially within the Klang River. This result is basically caused by rapid urban development, and in order to prevent it to happen, build a design in land use and activities that contributes to the analysis.
We are experiencing three errors during our GIS analysis process. The first one is to create a thin area which does not follow coordinates correctly. The solution is to reinsert the contour line and redo the process. The second one is map overlay error, which is an error in the raster process and means the overlay has exceeded the boundary. The solution is to rearrange the raster to the most suitable arrangement in the layer. And the last one is reclassify error, which means the buffer area becomes a high sensitivity area. The solution is to change the classification method and set up the range. There are three design solutions from this GIS analysis. The first one is the floodplain. The phytoremediation method will improve the water quality of the river. The second one is urban agriculture, which helps to mitigate flooding by absorbing rainwater through the soil and drainage system. And the last one is bioswale, which helps to carry the runoff to the stormwater inlet and release it to the water surface. As suggested, this method can also be used for identifying the degradation of marginal plants and potential flood events. It also can be used in the future by the Kawasan Sensitif Alam Sekitar Kesas Department. The conclusion of this study is to protect the natural elements, which is the river quality at Klang, Selangor. we conclude that the sensitive area needs a buffer zone to ensure the quality of the water from pollutants through the coastal area. That's all from us. Assalamualaikum.